Part one, we went all the way back to the beginning. The Sullivan family, Robert Kraft buying the land around the stadium before anybody realized why it mattered. Three Super Bowls built on information that may have been obtained illegally. An owner charged in a federal investigation. A convicted murderer who got a $40 million extension. I laid out the foundation so you can see what we're about to talk about clearly. Because what happens next is not a coincidence. It's not a bad apple. It is the same institution running the same play it has always run. Protect the brand, protect the powerful, and call anything that threatens both a personal matter. Meet Mike Vrabel. Michael George Vrabel, born August 14th, 1975, in Akron, Ohio. Both parents were educators. Ohio State on scholarship. Consensus All American. Drafted by Pittsburgh in 1997, signed with New England in 2001 as a free agent. Three Super Bowl championships. Caught touchdown passes in two of them as a defensive player deployed as a tight end. That only works with a guy who is completely trusted. He coached at Ohio State, then the Texans, then became the head coach of the Tennessee Titans in 2018. Won Coach of the Year in 2021, came back to New England in 2025, and took a 4-13 team to the Super Bowl in 1 year. Lost to the Seattle Seahawks 29-13. However, it was one of the most remarkable single season coaching turnarounds in recent NFL history. And in November 2025, he said at a podium, I think that's what we've always tried to build, the ability to hold people accountable, not in a negative way, but in a positive way to help themselves and help the team. He said accountability. He said that. While what comes next was allegedly already happening. Easter Sunday, April 6, 2026. A New York Post reporter approaches Dianna Russini at her home in Bergen County, New Jersey. He tells her they have photos of her and Vrabel at the Ambient Resort in Sedona, Arizona. Adults only, poolside, hot tub, rooftop deck, holding hands. She says they were there for an NFL Leagues meeting. The photos, he tells her, were taken away from those meetings. Vrabel had been at a scouting event at Arizona State the day before, then traveled approximately 125 miles to Sedona. The Ambient is known as a couples and honeymoon destination. Rooms go up to $2,160 a night. Same evening, according to ESPN's Ben Strauss, who spoke to more than a dozen people, Rossini immediately contacts a crisis communications expert. She goes directly to the CEO of the New York Times Company to plead her case before publication. And she coordinates with Vrabel about how to respond together before either says a word in public. The Post offers to kill the story if they can prove other people were there. Text messages, screenshots, names of the friends. Neither produces that evidence. April 7th, Page 6 publishes the photos. Both issue coordinated statements calling it an innocent interaction. Vrabel says these photos show a completely innocent interaction, and any suggestion otherwise is laughable. The Athletics executive editor, Steven Ginsburg, publicly defends Rossini, calls the photos misleading, says she's a premier journalist and they're proud to have her. April 8th, The Athletic asks for evidence. The six friends, the text messages. Rossini offers to have Vrabel vouch for her directly. The Athletic declines. A subject of the investigation vouching for the reporter is not evidence. That's not how investigations work. April 14th, The Athletic opens a formal internal investigation. Same day, before it concludes, Rossini resigns, publishes her letter on X, says she's stepping down because of the media frenzy. The investigation continues even after she's gone. April 21st, Vrabel addresses his players, calls it personal and private, says he's had difficult conversations with people he cares about, does not say sorry, does not mention Rossini by name. April 23rd, Page 6 publishes 2020 photos from Tribeca Tavern in New York City. Vrabel and Russini appearing to kiss. Eyewitness all over each other. Vrabel wearing his wedding ring. Same day, TMZ publishes 2024 photos from a Mississippi casino. Same day, Vrabel holds a press conference, says, "My previous actions don't meet the standard I hold myself to." Never says sorry. Asked why he called the Arizona photos laughable, he says, "That's a private matter," and stormed off the podium. April 24th, the NFL says it's not investigating. Roger Goodell at the draft, personal matter, no fine, no suspension, no competitive integrity review. April 25th, Vrabel announces he is skipping NFL Draft Day 3 to seek counseling. Statement: "This is not an easy thing for me to admit, but it is one that I know will make me a better person." Patriots, we fully support Mike Vrabel's decision. During that weekend, sources report seeing him with his wife in Utah. May 6th, TMZ publishes documents and video from June 2021. Vrabel and Russini signed a waiver for a private boat rental in Putnam County, Tennessee. Just the two of them. 2 or 3 hours on the water. No one else on the boat. At the time, Russini was 7 months pregnant with her first child. She had married her husband, Kevin Goldsmith, in 2020. Vrabel has been married to his wife, Jen, since 1999. They met at Ohio State. May 7th through 8th. TMZ releases the actual doc video. NFL insider Albert Breer goes on Boston radio and says, "I want to quote this directly because it matters. I can just tell you, factually, he has not been the same the last 2 weeks in that building. The sense I've gotten talking to people is the bravado and everything else. I think this has taken a chunk out of that." Meanwhile, Jason La Canfora reports the league sources confirm the franchise is firmly behind Vrabel, that Kraft has given him full support as he attempts to prepare the team and repair the damage he has done to his family. One general manager put it plainly: "Kraft isn't going to do anything unless the league makes him. And that's not happening because of an affair. It's not like this was in office." Drake May also publicly backs his coach. May 9th. New reporting directly connects the A.J. Brown trade from the 2022 NFL Draft to Russini-Vrabel relationship. Russini was the reporter who broke the trade news in real time. With Brown on the Titans, Vrabel team went 32-17 over 3 years and made the playoffs every season. Without Brown, after Russini reported the trade, they went 13-21 and Vrabel was fired. The reporting angle is no longer theoretical. The competitive integrity questions are now directly connected to a franchise altering move. May 9th through 10th. Mike Florio writes in a column for NBC Sports, "Some sort of settlement agreement with an NDA would not be unprecedented in a situation like this. Regardless, she has a story to tell." Then he issues what he calls the starkest warning yet. What if she tells her story to the Today Show or 60 Minutes? Is that the tipping point where Mike Vrabel can't coach the Patriots this year? So they better have a plan ready because we're one news cycle away, potentially at any given moment, from him not being able to coach this team. Sources close to Russini tell the Daily Mail that GMA and 60 Minutes are actively competing to land her exclusive. She is leaning towards going on the record, but sources say she does not plan to attack Vrabel. She wants to reclaim her story and rebuild her career after it collapsed overnight. May 8th through 10th. Despite all of it, Vrabel shows up. Rookie minicamp, engaged, working with coaches, locked in. The Patriots aren't blinking. A source inside the organization told reporters, would they rather have the story go away? Absolutely. But they aren't going to pressure her not to do it. It is her life. If it happens, it is something they will deal with at that time. But they are focusing on the team. The franchise has dealt with many other controversies, and they will weather through this no matter if she talks or not. She has otherwise remained completely silent since her resignation statement. May 14th, NFL schedule release. The schedule drops, and it immediately becomes its own story. The Patriots will open the 2026 season on Wednesday, September 9th at Seattle against the Seahawks. Super Bowl 60 rematch. On NBC in primetime, the first time the Patriots have ever played on a Wednesday. The first Week 1 Super Bowl rematch since 2016. Every camera in the country will be pointed at Mike Vrabel's face when the Seahawks raise the championship banner. The NFL executive vice president Hans Schroeder went out of his way to say the NFL focused on the football game in the reach of the Super Bowl, and that the Vrabel-Russini scandal played no part in the decision to schedule this game. The league would have us believe it did not seriously weigh the sizable elephant in the room. Make of that what you will. And then the Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers made a schedule release video styled like a racing game. During the race, a notification pops up on the screen that reads, New York Post sent you a message. The Chargers were the only team in the NFL to go directly at Vrabel in their video. 31 teams. One of them had the nerve. The NFL confirmed it did not review or vet any team's videos before they went out. The story was already the offseason. Now it's going to hang over week 1 of the season on a Wednesday night on national television. That's the timeline. April 6th to today. 50 days. And it's not over. Next Sunday, part 2B or part 3. We're going to talk about what it actually means, the accountability gap, the American parallel, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about all of it. Don't miss it. Drop a comment, share this with somebody, and I'll see you Wednesday for our weekly show. I'm out.